I got to ask the question, is it already too late? I am so close to being 60, and I have watched my creative aspect of myself dwindle through the years. If it's too late to revive that, is it too late for me to start, I wouldn't say a creative career, but to really start expressing myself creatively and to see where it goes? You never know where things can go unless you try. And if you're like me, a lot of life gets in the way, and the things that you used to love to do, and it doesn't matter if it's crochet or oil painting or playing the piano. So many people have said that there was things that they used to do when they were young that they just don't do anymore. And the reason's always life. Life got in the way. And it's true. Life does get in the way. Where there are certain seasons that we have to go through. The season of raising your family. The season of getting established. Getting a job. Taking care of your family. At some point, though, those seasons, we go through those seasons and we come out into a new season. And if you're like me, you're over 50, maybe almost 60, maybe 70 or 80, doesn't matter. That end of the spectrum, you may find that you have more time for yourself and you're feeling like, well, what do I do with this time? And then you remember, I used to love playing the flute, the violin, the piano. I used to like to draw. I remember I took some portrait classes when I was young. I wonder if I could do that again. Or you've wanted to write a book, or you've wanted to learn something new on the computer, some technology. There's so many avenues that we could go, and as our time frees up, so hopefully maybe our kids are grown and on their own. We may have grandchildren, but a lot of us don't have to take care of our grandchildren like we did our children. So if you're at that stage, then maybe you do have some time. And I really don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too late, no matter how old you are, to revive that creative spirit that you had. It's such an integral part of so many people. And because we've buried it for so long, it almost feels like part of us isn't alive. And I think the more creative you were when you were younger, the more you feel that tug of loss, because that is part of who you are. But now we're on the other end of our time. And I really think it's important, and it's not too late, to find out who you are again. So that's why I'm starting this channel. I want to, one, discover my own art again. And I also want to encourage anybody that is trying to revive their creative spirit, their creative spark, to join along. You can watch what I'm doing, but even better, start your own thing. Doing this YouTube channel itself is a challenge, but I think it's important for inspiration, to inspire other people. There are so many wonderful people on YouTube sharing inspiration, to encourage you to follow your path. Even though my goal isn't to teach people how to make a YouTube channel, being on here and encouraging you to follow whatever your dream is. And if your dream is to have a YouTube channel and be a YouTuber, fantastic. That's the path you should be following. And I love to draw and I love to write. So I'm combining the two of those things together, and hopefully, I can make some good books for kids that they'll enjoy. But I also have found over the years that because life is so hectic and demanding, whether or not you're still raising your kids or not, life can be very hectic. And I find that I really need downtime sometimes, even if it's just 10 minutes. So that's the other part of this channel is one is going to be following the creative journey, and hopefully you will be joining me in your creative journey and growing and unburying that creative part of you that, you know, is alive and well. It is alive and well. It's just got to be dusted off. The other part is 10-minute quiet meditative doodle time. Say that meditation is good for you. It calms you down and it centers you. But I have a hard time just sitting there with my eyes closed, doing nothing. However, if I am sketching with a pen or colored pencils or charcoal, it's like meditation. And I think that's important. And so perhaps if you are feeling hectic or your day's been crazy, work's been crazy, and you just want 10 minutes to unwind, you'll join me doing some doodling. And it doesn't matter if you're artistic. That is not the point. The point is you're doing something calming. And it's only 10 minutes. We can take 10 minutes for ourselves. And hopefully that will help us center ourselves so we can maybe reflect on our creativeness and what we want to do. So I hope that you'll join me on this journey. There's a learning curve for this. Just making YouTube videos is daunting all by itself. Filming yourself can be, I don't know if I'd say terrifying, but definitely uncomfortable. Because you don't always know what to say and you stumble over your words. And even though you can talk freely to your friends, as soon as you put a camera in front of you, especially in my generation, Gen X, it's kind of like, I don't know, you just kind of freeze. So that's learning by itself. But I hope you'll join me on the journey and on this journey of growth. And I want this to be fun, and I'm documenting what I'm doing as I'm going. And I want you to start looking at your own self and joining me along the way. Okay. I think that's all I have to say for now. I just want to reiterate that it is not too late. Any age, you can start finding yourself again. And that's what I'm about to do. Be there with me. All right. You have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.